So a lot of you are probably aware of my computer collection. We just added another one to the fleet. By the video title, you'll no doubt know what it is. It's sitting underneath this bag. This bag came along with the machine. You can see it's just a typical laptop bag. You can see part of the laptop there. And it didn't come with the original supplies, so I have this. I'm going to plug it in. Even though the laptop still holds a charge, it's good to plug it in. And let's actually take a look at the machine, shall we? Wow. Yeah, it's not in great shape. Yeah, it's scratched to hell. Yeah, it's a glossy finish, and I hate those. But you can't argue with the price point. This is not a new machine. This is used, like, heavily. Got it from a coworker today for free. Honestly, I would have paid something for this. It's a really nice system. Like I said, by the video title, you'll know what it is, but it is a Compaq. If you didn't know that. This is actually a Presario A900 that was not affected by the battery recall. Or at least its battery wasn't. There's something on my lens. Yep, it's gone. Alright. It is a modern system, missing a bunch of screws. This keyboard was not put back in correctly. It's missing a sticker. Trackpad is like glass, or like it's plastic with a glossy finish. This is a glossy finished palm rest. I hate those, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Could use a nice cleaning as well. I have powered on. It does work. There's actually a long story behind this. So I was working, right, and coworker asked, "Do you have time for a project?" And I said yes. And they showed me this, and they were like, "It doesn't post. I think the motherboard's bad. Can you at the very least, get the data off the hard drive, or if you can, get it running?" So I took a look at it, and I powered it on, and I can't hear anything because there's so many freaking fans in the background. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe the motherboard is bad because it wasn't posting, and it was just ramping its fan up, and it wasn't doing anything. So I'm like, okay. I go to take the hard drive cover off, which I do have, sitting right here, with the screws. And there's no hard drive. No hard drive caddy. So I'm thinking, so I told him that, and he's like, "Oh, well, what the hell is the point of fixing it then?" And then he's just like, "Well, why don't you take it?" And I'm like, "Okay, actually the battery's fully charged now." And so I did. I tried it with an external VGA monitor. It's still no output. And then I took the RAM door off, and it's like, oh, this has mismatched RAM in it. I take one stick out, and it's working. And unfortunately, I don't have anything that's a 667 megahertz or lower speed. This should be working. I don't know why this one isn't working, but that one's not working. This is, even though it says 666 on the front, it's actually DDR2 800. Or at least it's advertising that it's 800 megahertz on the back. Both of these chips are the same. And I don't have anything that's any slower, unless this happens to be slower. This might be true 667, actually. I might have to try this module. I have no idea what's installed right now. I believe, actually, you know what? I believe it won't accept 6400. I believe it's 5300 or bust. Even though that one, actually, you know what? It might. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can see there's a gouge in the plastic here. It's scratched. There's a gouge there. There's some gouges in the back. It was definitely used. Power supply, like I said, is not original. It's one of these cheap rocket fish thingies. But, you know, if I don't have the original supply, there's not a whole lot I can do. It does not have any other parts in it. You'll notice I haven't put a hard drive in it. That's what we're going to do right now. There's going to be an unboxing in this video. We have the headphone and the microphone on the front, where they should be on every laptop ever made. You can see that this keyboard is popping out. I'll show you why in a second. Oh, you can't see that because the camera won't focus on it. Anyway, doesn't matter. So there's a COA on the bottom. What COA is that for? Oh, I can't tell. It's rubbed off. COA is still there, though. Well, yes, no, the entire key is still there, so I can use that if it's good. I think it's for, like, Vista Basic or something. Generic like that. The sticker is missing from the palm rest, so I don't know. It has a Pentium. Not a Pentium. No, it might be a Pentium. It's 1.8, whatever it is, it's a 1.86 gigahertz. I don't remember the exact model of the processor. I should know that, but I don't. It has a gig of RAM in it right now, which is being part of it's being used by a shared video, which is terrible, but it's a laptop. What are you going to do? And I don't have any sticks that will fit in this. We're going to put a hard drive in it in this video, and we're probably either going to put Vista on it or we're going to put 7 on it. I don't think I'm going to put 8 on this thing. I want to see if there are any Windows 7 drivers, because the drivers on the HP site are for XP or XP Vista only. You know what we're going to do next? We're going to take this and we're going to put it on our bed, or my bed, because that's easier that way. At least they used a connector that's somewhat decent. And this is a working system. Let's put the camera, you guys, on the tripod first. Because you'll complain if I don't put you on the tripod. You'll complain anyway, but at least you'll complain about something that isn't a tripod, because you're all annoying when you complain about the tripod. Say, why don't you use a tripod? You have a tripod right there. It's like, really? Come on. I don't use a tripod because it gets in my freaking way. Alright, now that you're on the tripod, let's take a look at what this thing actually even is. See, it's one of those Scorpio Blue drives that they have for everything. It's 500 gig. It is a SATA, of course. Everything sold these days is SATA. Proven reliability for everyday computing. They're not joking. This actually is a very reliable brand. I have not had one fail for the last couple of years, except for that one which was killed by that netbook, but that doesn't count. Compatible with Windows 7. There's works with Windows Vista logo. Not that anybody ever uses Vista, even still uses Vista. And a compatible with Macintosh logo, because it is. Although that actually depends on the hardware configuration, apparently. Even though something that should just work. Okay. Let's take a look at what they have to say for themselves on the back. Western digital quality inside and out. Low power consumption for a notebook or a netbook, depending on what you want to put it in there. Low noise and vibration. I'm glad about that because I don't have the drive caddy, so it's probably going to vibrate around anyways. Ideal for everyday computing. The WD Blue is ideal for everyday computing. Not high performance, but I don't care. I don't need performance. All this thing is going to be doing is basic coding in C++, not basic. Jesus Christ. What do you think I am, like an old guy programming on like a Commodore 64? Anyway, it has a 2-year limited warranty as opposed to a 5-year for a WD Black drive, but I mean, I don't really expect this thing to fail, like ever. So let's get our knife, which seems to have disappeared on me yet again. Every time I want to do a video, that thing like disappears. Oh wait, that's right, I didn't find it the last time I wanted to make a video. Alright, let's open the package. This is a package. Oh. What's the part? Right there. We can see that. I'm doing. There we go. And out of the box we come. Oh, they have a different packaging scheme. That is interesting. Anything else in there? We have the technical support and warranty guide. Which you should save, like they say on the package. And then we have the actual drive itself. Inside one of these Mylar bags, which a lot of people seem to think are safe for placing electronic bits on, even though they're not. And we're not going to get into that discussion because that's not what the video is about. Oops. So there's the drive itself. Made in Malaysia. What else is on this? There's nothing really else that I need to talk about on this drive, so let's throw it in the PC. Get this crap out of the way first. Throw this in. I'm going to let you see it anyway. Oops, upside down, right? Nope, that's the way it goes. Okay. Because it's upside down like this, but it's not upside down when it's in the actual package. Really wish I had the hard drive caddy, but I don't. Maybe I'll have to ask about that, see what happened with it. There it is. Where's my screwdriver I'm using? Let's throw this back on. Oops, wrong way. We are going to have to install an operating system because there isn't one. Well, yeah, duh. Of course there isn't an operating system. Why isn't this going in? Oh. Sometimes I really dislike these OEM, or at least these kinds of drive mounts, because they're really annoying. And not necessarily the drive mounts, but these stupid flimsy covers on modern systems are kind of annoying. Hopefully you can't see the product key. No, you shouldn't be able to see the product key unless you have like laser vision or something like that. And we'll put the system back on the table and plug it back in and power it on. And I'll show you the specs when that happens. This has to go back downstairs because I don't really need a knife in here. Yes, this is a glossy display, so you can see a lot of the ugly guy running the camera. But, I suppose this is actually one of the better hinges that I've seen on a modern laptop. I mean, it's still not great because it is a modern laptop. And they actually have the same problems that those older laptops have. I really am not a big fan of these glossy palm rests and these glossy bezels and these glossy back panels because, like you can see, they get scratched, they get gouged much more easily than a matte surface does. And they also are far less easy to clean. Once you fingerprint them, it's there for a while, like you can see. I don't think I mentioned, but the keyboard isn't installed correctly. Somebody must have taken this apart before I did, and really messed stuff up. Oh, that reminds me. There are screws missing. Lots and lots of screws missing. I think there were 6 total that this system does not have that it should have. There is, one right there, one right there, one right there for the keyboard, one right there, and one right there. If you can read that, you can see that this thing has Altec Lansing, an Altec Lansing speaker system. It actually also has a DVD dual layer burner, which I will probably never use, but it's a good thing to have. Pentium dual core inside. An important notification in French, which is rubbed off, and presumably a Windows Vista sticker. It is also Energy Star compliant. This is what it looks like. Function is actually denoted by the square that's around the functions. And those functions will probably not work until I install all the special drivers. Achoo! Jesus. It actually has a webcam, which makes this the only system in this house that is working that has a webcam on it. Out of all the systems I have, out of all the systems that are actually even in here, this is the only one with a webcam. What the hell is this? Oh, it must be a middle mouse button. I've never seen that on a lot of systems. And no, I'm not getting sick. Just sends that way. Okay. Oh, plug it in. Whoopsie! Forgot to plug the damn thing in. This is, like I said, not the original power adapter. You can tell it sticks out quite a bit from the socket, but if I find one, I'll get the original one. Oh, by the way, if anybody has a hard drive caddy for this or knows where you can find one, shoot me a message, because they're not on eBay. At least not on the Canadian version of eBay. So, yes, let's power it on here. Yes, it takes a long time to post, but it does work. As you can see, I tend to get into BIOS. BIOS is kind of slow, which might indicate a failing motherboard. See, date and time is being held. The clock battery is dead. I verified that. Oops. You see, we have an A900. Is that a dead pixel? Oh, that's the reflection of my camera in the LCD. Oh, that is distracting. We have a T2390 running at 1.86 gigahertz. A Giga RAM, because I can't upgrade the damn thing. Factory installed OS was ye old Windows Vista, which I might have to run because all the HP drivers on the HP site are Windows Vista drivers. You're given two choices, Vista 32 or Vista 64. And I don't have much of a choice because I only have Vista 32. Or if I can find the Windows 7 drivers, I could use those. So that's all the passwords and crap. It does have AHCI mode enabled, which you really don't need, but it's on there anyway. There's the RAM test. Memory is good. Didn't really change anything, so we'll exit discarding changes. And we'll figure out which route we're going to go with an operating system, and I'll be back in a few. We're going to go with 7. Keyboard does work, as you can see. This is a 17-inch model, by the way, so it will just barely fit in my bag, which I use to carry it. In fact, I'm not even going to be using that. I'm going to just be using the laptop bag that I got with it. Is this drive working? Come on, damn it. Boot. Can I not read this disc, or is it like... the hell is going on here? Oh, there it goes. Yeah, that drive might have some issues achieving focus lock. Could end up having to replace it sometime down the road. Whoa, my camera just went out of focus. Why did it do that? This is not fast, believe me. Then again, we've only got like a Giga RAM and like a 1.86 gigahertz processor. That is not even a Core 2 Duo. It is a Core 2. Or sorry, no, it's a Core Duo. It's not a Core 2 Duo. In fact, I don't even think it has hyper-threading. Why would it have... well, wait a second. Why would it have hyper-threading, you idiot? Hopefully this works. We'll see. I really don't like this this glossy display because it lets you see way too much of the guy running the camera. So every little thing that I do, you get to see on camera. So I have to be like really careful what I do. I'm going to have to find all kinds of drivers manually because they don't have them on the HP site. Or I'll have to just download and use the Windows Vista drivers. Which I think I'm going to do. Windows 7. Well, the mouse works. I can only do a custom install because I'm not booted from there. It actually is a fingerprint pattern if you haven't noticed this. This is a fingerprint pattern. It starts there and works its way around. It gets bigger and bigger. It also does that on the front cover. I accept the license terms. Still seems to ask for an upgrade, which is not possible. Disk 0, 465 gigs. And it didn't ask for my product key. Interesting. Usually it's supposed to ask for the product key. And usually it does ask for my product key. I don't know why it didn't that time. Oh, well, I suppose there's differences sometimes with different machines. And I just hit my funny bone, and that hurt. Alright, so I'll return when that's done. And thanks to the magic of video editing, I will be back in a few. Okay, here we go. Oops. Oh yeah, here we go. Probably gonna throw it on my home group as well, see how well that works. The hell is that? Well, anyway, whatever. Suppose it's just somebody whipping around and... It sounds like a motorcycle, but... You wouldn't be riding a motorcycle in the middle of winter. That's just stupid. Anyway, there are some people in this world who are stupid. Oh, what the hell was... Okay, so it found a video driver for it that actually works, you can tell. Not exactly a big display. Suppose it doesn't really matter. It's finding drivers now, that's all it's doing. Rebooted itself again. Camera went into focus again, which is only slightly annoying. My camera's almost out of batteries. Too bad I can't plug the damn thing in because this is still running. Could probably take that CD out of there, but I'll do it as soon as Windows setup is finished, because that's more of the thing that should be done. Drive definitely has some issues achieving focus lock. Good thing I won't be using it very often. Camera seems to have a hard time focusing when it's almost out of batteries. Whether that's a good thing or not is up to you. It is slightly annoying, but, I mean, really, what are you gonna do? It's high definition, and the video looks nice, so there's that. Here we go. Here, okay. Oh, there's the caps lock light. I was wondering where the hell that was. And it's blue, just like every other freaking light on this system. Keeping with the modern times and the requirement to have at least one blue LED on the system. There we go. Does it want my product key? Oh, it wants a password. And for the password hint, alright, so it did ask for my product key, install important updates only. Still manages to get my goddamn time zone wrong, but at least the time is right. Now it's finalizing settings for Windows 7 Professional. Driver. I think we can eject this scene now. Nope, sound works. Sounds really bassy too, jeez. Was not expecting that. Alright, how many non-found drivers do we have? Whoops. I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these glossy freaking trackpads. These are, like, difficult to use. But I can use them. Okay. 3 days until auto activation. Oh, it wants me to get another freaking key, doesn't it? Because it will not be able to use this key. I know that from prior experience. Let me find it. Because I know I have 2 of them. Windows cannot connect. Oh, god damn it. I have to install the drivers first. Okay, alright. No big deal. What kind of drivers are we missing other than the wireless driver? Because I know that we're missing the wireless drivers, so yes. Device manager. It is a 32-bit operating system. We have an unknown device. No, it's finding my Wi-Fi, so what the hell? Is it on? No, it wasn't even on. Yeah, it was orange, so it was off. I thought I needed to download a driver for it, and the goddamn thing isn't even on. Oh, hey, look at this. Found my home group, I think. Okay, we are on my home group. We are connected to the network. I'm going to figure out what this unknown device is, try and find a driver for it. No. So I don't know what it is. It might tell me in the details. Oh, it's an ACPI thing. Ugh. You know what? Screw that. I'm not even going to worry about it. All the function keys should work. And they do. But they don't display on the screen. I might have to download some crap from HP's website. So let's try and activate here. This is taking forever. I did re-enter the product key that I know should be working. Watch it not work now that it's on goddamn camera. Alright. Activated. And that reflection is really beginning to annoy me. What kind of battery life do we get here? That can't even tell me. Display brightness. Function. F8. So you can see what I'm doing. I am not a big fan of these glossy displays. We'll just make that clear. So I have to install all my software, all the updates, and all that other wonderful stuff that really you don't need, but it's there anyways. Find an antivirus program. Okay. Doesn't complain about Windows backup, even though I know it will eventually. So let's get all our programs loaded, or actually let's do all the updates first, because it'll put MSE on here, or Microsoft Security Essentials. So, yeah, this glossy trackpad is so damn annoying. Well, I know what my opinion about the speakers are. These are like the loudest and some of the bassiest speakers I've ever heard. It's a pretty decent sound system, actually. It's better than what they're putting in laptops these days. How many updates? Oh my lord. Look at that. So, let's figure out what we have. A lot of it I'm probably not even going to bother with. So we have some driver updates. We have Silverlight, we have MSE. Pointing device that has Connex and audio. Okay. There's something about a modem. HP stuff. Realtek, something or another. You know what? Let's just take all this crap and install it. We'll give it a once over. We'll make sure. Yeah, this we're not going to bother with. This we're not going to bother with because I hate this crap. It's useless. Install! Hopefully that works. Accept the license for the malicious software tool and for Silverlight. Amazingly, there isn't one for MSE. But all that will be installed eventually. Yes, it will download that crap. And while that's happening, we're going to get our programs installed. Alrighty, I am not particularly a great fan of this keyboard. My camera is bitching because it's almost out of batteries again. And not because it has a number pad. It is the first computer that I have had with a number pad. Actually, that's a nice feature, even though I'll never use it. But because there is not a big shift bar here. Something is going on. Yeah, I just did updates, and that's why it's doing that. There is not a big shift bar here. All the keys are shoved over a little bit. They're in a weird alignment, or at least it's really weird to me because it's different from what I'm used to, which is a more standard keyboard layout, such as this one. This is different. It also feels different. It is not as tactile, or it feels more like a chiclet keyboard, which I guess is what it is, but call it what you may. It's about 1 o'clock. Now I'm going to set it up with the printers. Well, that's not happening because Windows doesn't know what a printer port is. So there's that. So I'm going to shut it down and I'm going to check something out here. I want to see if maybe this stick of RAM is going to work. I've tried that one, it doesn't work. I've tried these two, neither of them work. How about this one? Which also claims 666 megahertz. So, let's find out. Let's find out together. So I want to see if that stick is even going to work to begin with. So, I put it in, and we're going to see if it works or if it fails. I think it's going to fail. Let's see what happens. Nope, it's actually going to work. Let's go into BIOS. I could have pressed F2, but I didn't. So we have a gig of RAM. Second stick is installed. It's really easy to install memory. I mean, you really don't even need to see that. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to fail. Oh. Maybe I'm getting lucky. Oh, that was a startup check. Oh, crap. I didn't want to do that. I think the info was like F1 or something. Yes, it was. So now we have 2 gigs of RAM installed. Awesome. Let's see what that does to Windows. Start normally. So shut it off in the middle of booting, which was a terrible idea because I just installed updates. That shouldn't really crash the system though. But we'll see. There is some slight discoloration on the panel that you can't see because this camera doesn't like, or no camera likes, glossy display screens. It is almost 1:30 in the morning. Start, please. I don't have all day. So far, I'm liking this system a lot. The one thing that I really hate about it, is, aside from the glossy crap, is this stupidly designed spacebar, this stupidly designed shift key, which is the size of a regular key, and then you have the damn arrow key right beside it. Bad design. In fact, you should call that a design flaw, because that's terrible. That is not how you design things. Alright, we have a 3.1. That is the lowest score I have gotten on any system. Ever. However, it is based on the graphics, which I don't care for. In fact, quite honestly, I don't care at all about the graphics. As long as the system works. Processor and memory, as well as the hard drive, are all pretty good. I mean, the drive, there's not really much you can do about the drive speed because it's a hard drive. It's a mechanical hard drive, so it's not going to be 100%. So now I just have to wait for this to happen. So it's about a day later. Here is the Presario. I've locked out the trackpad, which this button does. You can see. Just so that I don't do anything with it, and you can't really see anything. I can't lock out the keyboard, but I can lock out the trackpad. What was I talking about? Oh, yes. This actually is a really nice system for what it is. I did take it out. I do know that it just barely fits in this bag, and in turn just barely fits in there. Oh yeah. That right there, that's just basically become a museum piece because it doesn't work. I think I know what's wrong with it. Might be a controller card problem. But I'm not willing to fix that because it's a 2.1 gig drive and I don't really need another hard drive. Another 2.1 gig drive kicking around. This is the bag that I got with it. Is it going to fit in here is the big question. I doubt it. However, we can try it. And it's certainly possible that it might. But it's really nice. Like I said, I took it out today. Battery life isn't great. Doesn't last a class, so... The battery life doesn't last an entire class, whereas with this system and that system, I was able to get an entire class worth of battery life out of it, and then some. So the battery is probably due for a rebuild, although I'm not sure that I'm going to do that. The RAM, like I said, it has 2 gigs in it. I might Well, actually, I can't really upgrade that to 4 because I don't have the ability to do that. This is one of the chips that was originally in it. I don't know what kind of chip this is. There is absolutely no markings on it whatsoever, except for the markings on the chips themselves. These chips are SEC chips. Might be either Siemens or Samsung Electronics Corporation or something like that. Those are 800 megahertz chips. Neither of those work. This doesn't work. I don't know why that doesn't work, but it should work. It is a 5300 running at 555 megahertz, so maybe it's the format of the chip. I don't know. Either way, Windows 7 runs quite nicely on this. Oops, locked up the trackpad. Windows 7 does run quite nicely on this. I might upgrade it to 8 at some point, although at some point is not right now because this is good for this purpose. And the sad thing is that this is basically probably just going to sit there and never be used again. And this, after like about tomorrow, and that's about it, is probably not going to see a whole lot of use either. Because that's just the way it goes, I guess. I don't use them for anything other than school purposes. I haven't used that to do a lot of projects. I might do some video rendering on all 3 of these machines, if need be. I can have them sitting there and running, and they can just be used to render videos. It's always a possibility. In fact, this one's probably going to be doing that task today, which will be good. But yes, like I said, it's in great shape. I still have to take the palm rest off and put the keyboard back in there. I have to order the screws, and there are no hard drive caddies available on eBay for these things. At least not on the Canadian version of eBay, which is the one that I use, because sellers there ship internationally. Sellers on eBay.com don't always ship internationally, which is why I don't use it. So don't bother pointing me to eBay.com links. If it's not an eBay.ca link, I'm not going to go to it. But I didn't find any on eBay. So there's that. If anybody knows where I can... actually, you know what? I might be able to get the part. Probably figure out a way to get that. The battery is probably going to be rebuilt. Like I said before, it's not affected by the battery recall on these because it's a different model number. It's not one of the model numbers affected. In fact, I think it's actually a replaced battery. A factory replaced battery. It's very possible. The trackpad is by subject, and the keyboard are both subject to my dislike because... Not because it has a number pad, that's fine. I'll never use it, but it's fine. But because of this shift key. And the fact that it's right beside the arrow key. I'm used to having a shift key that spans the entire length of this. So sometimes, in fact, usually mistakenly, I hit the arrow key. And shoots me all the way up the page, and I'm like, holy crap, what the heck just happened? I do not know if my webcam is working. So that'll take forever. The speakers are actually pretty sweet. I like them. They are kind of on the quiet side when you're in a loud classroom with about 25, 30 computers running at once that are not exactly quiet to begin with. Camera doesn't seem to like these glossy displays either. That's the only other thing. Not the display so much as this palm rest and the back panel. Because they scratch easily. I tried to get that off with a magic eraser, and that didn't work too well. You can't even really see it on camera as well as I can. Oh yeah, there we go. That's just sticky residue. I don't think that's actual scratch in the plastic. It might very well be scratch in the plastic, which ticks me off. See if I can connect to my webcam. Oh, the light blinked. Maybe the webcam don't work. Okay. Might have to tear that apart and see why the camera don't work. I have a webcam and it doesn't even work. Alright, I'm going to be ending this now because this has gone on for long enough. I've droned on about the system. All I can tell you is that it's a glossy everything, and I'm not a big fan of glossy anything, but outside of that, it's a pretty good system. For those of you that forget the specs, let's, pull that up. .1 WEI. It is actually a Pentium. I thought it was a Core Duo or something, but it's not. It's just a Pentium dual core. T2390 at 1.86 gigahertz with 2 gigs of RAM. It's running 32-bit Windows. And of course, Windows is activated. So, what are we going to do? Well, we're not going to shut it down because I'm doing work. But I'm going to cut this video off right now. So, thank you for watching. If you have any of your comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off, and I'll see you next time. Till then.